Hi, my name is Cassie Rodenbeck, and I'm going to be your counselor for the next few sessions. And I would like for us to talk a little bit about your family today and kind of get to know you a little bit more before we dive into any more topics. So that's what we're going to do for our session today. But before I begin, I would like to let you know that I am a practicing counselor, and I appreciate you working with me to help me practice. Everything that we talk about will be confidential and private, and the only time that I will be needing to speak with someone about what you have told me is if you show that you might be harming yourself or have thoughts of harming someone else. So that's the only time that I'll share what's been said. I will be sharing this with my classmates and my teachers, though, for practice. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I would like to get to know you a little bit more, so I'm going to ask you some questions about your family. Let's start with your siblings. Can you tell me about your siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I have two brothers.
Okay. And where does that put you in the birth order?
I am the oldest.
Okay. All right. What's the age difference between the three of you?
We are all 1 year apart. So my middle brother, he actually has the same birthday as I do.
Okay.
So he was born a year after me on the exact same day, which is kind of random, but
Well, that's neat. Who would you say took care of each other the most on a day-to-day basis? Who took care of each other?
I feel like I did because they were both younger than me, and I always felt like I was trying to protect them when we were growing up.
Okay. Besides you and your brothers, who else was in the home growing up?
So we stayed with my grandparents, and my parents lived like right across the road, like they all worked together. My granddaddy had a grocery store, and so my parents worked for him in the grocery store. So we had a lot of people in and out of our house. So then our direct house, it was my grandparents and my two brothers.
Okay. All right. Um, what would you feel like your relationship with your father was like?
He was always working, so I feel like there were some gaps there because I didn't really get to see him. Like, we'll spend a lot of time with him outside of like a work setting. Because he worked at my granddaddy's grocery store. And so we would, as children, like we would hang out at the grocery store. And so my dad was always working. So it was kind of like a different kind of situation, I guess.
Okay. And what about your mother?
She was, because I live with my grandparents, she was kind of more like an aunt. Uh, because my grandmother was more like my mother, and then my mother was kind of like she was present, but she was like more like an aunt.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, yes. Let's see here. Who do you feel like you're the closest with in your family?
Well, right now, when I was younger, probably my grandmother. She was like the closest, person that I was close to. Now I am close with my mother. My grandmother has passed away, and I do feel like I'm closer with my mother now than I used to be.
Okay. Um, what would you say you were like as a child? Can you describe yourself as a child?
As a child, I was happy. We stayed outside a lot. We didn't have cell phones back then, so we were always playing outside, and we loved to, take visits to the beach. And um, I, I would describe myself as pretty happy.
Okay. Um, can you think of anything significant from your childhood that has maybe shaped who you are today?
Um, let's see. I think when you asked me about my brothers and me taking care of them, I felt like I had to take care of them. I feel like that's kind of made me like that in my adult life. Sometimes I feel like I have to take care of other people all the time. um,
Um,
but yeah.
how often do you get to see your brothers now?
Um, Mostly holidays. I don't really see them that much.
Well, I think that's all we're going to get to today. I want to thank you for sharing, and we can continue with this during our next session.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks.